Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys unboxing review video. So the figure we're going to talk about today is Luke Skywalker from Mandalorian Season 2. So this figure was actually released a few months ago, but I had just ordered it a few weeks ago, so this is actually a new figure in my collection. And also, this is actually my first ever Hot Toys Star Wars figure. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm really looking forward to make a review on it. And before, I've already made quite a few review videos about Hot Toys Marvel figures, and all of them are, I think, in my opinion, they're all spectacular, and you can definitely go have a check if you're interested. And so, back to our topic. Before I show you like everything about the figure itself, like the box art, the figure, and also including, of course, the accessories, I'll first show you the unboxing process of this figure. So as you can see here, this is the unboxing process. I actually bought this from the Hot Toys official WeChat store. And in case you don't know the writing on the box, on those like enormous cardboard box, it actually also means Hot Toys official WeChat store. So it's pretty interesting. And you can see here up there, the Hot Toys logo. I think you guys definitely recognize that. So actually, because like it has the writing of Hot Toys official WeChat store, so actually buying it from the WeChat store is the only way you can get this box. You cannot get it from anywhere else. So it's pretty good. And you can see here inside, even though this outside cardboard box is just enormous, but the box for the figure itself, although a little bit bigger than the usual figures, because it's a special edition and it included the Dark Trooper, the bust of Dark Trooper, so it's a little bit bigger than the other, but still much smaller compared to this outer box. But I think Hot Toys did this mainly to just protect the inner box. You can see here the outer box already has a hole. I don't know when it was damaged, but the Hot Toys definitely just packed their products pretty well. And you can see here inside there's another cardboard box, much smaller. This is actually the one that came with the figure itself, and its size is much smaller in size. And while you can see here, there are two just dark logos up there. Also, not a logo, I think, just indicating that it's special edition and also deluxe version at the same time. And its number is DX23. And now I'm sliding it out. And inside, this is the main box, the dark one, the dark color. And there's another plastic bag that packs it. You can see here up there, this is the image of Luke Skywalker force crushing a Dark Trooper, and up there's a sticker of special edition. And down there, Luke holding Grogu. So it's pretty interesting. And now I'm gonna show you some details of the box art. So as you guys see here, this is the box of Luke Skywalker. It's actually, like, obviously very different from the Marvel figures box art. Like the Marvel figures box art are usually much more complicated, like full of different kinds of colors and a lot of effects. But these Star Wars figures, like, they're all very simple. Usually just, most of them are usually dark in color, like usually black. And it's just very simple. It only includes some images of the figure themselves. And also a bunch of warnings and their logos. And on this one, as you see, this is a DX version, so it also has the letters DX on it. And also, mine is a special edition, so of course it has a special edition sticker on the top right corner. And as you see on the front part of it, on the box, there's an image of Luke Skywalker force crushing a Dark Trooper and totally destroying it. As you see, the effects were also great, and of course this Dark Trooper is also included in the set. So, because this is the deluxe version, but if you bought the standard version, then it won't include the Dark Trooper. I feel like the Dark Trooper just looks really fascinating, especially with his light effects on. You see, it looks spectacular, and down there, on the other corner, you can see another image of Luke, like without wearing his robe. The one on the top, like Force Crushing the Dark Trooper, is wearing his robe. It looks very cool. It uses it to nearly cover his eyes, and it looks great. Down there, it's without wearing it and holding Grogu with his robotic hand, and it also looks great. It shows it. It indicates that it also includes the little accessory Grogu. So I feel like this figure is actually, it's not one figure, it's actually 3 figures. And also down there, of course, Luke Skywalker, and in the background, I think it's the hallway, which Luke destroys all these Dark Troopers. And on the back, I've already explained it, a bunch of warnings, and down there's a barcode. And on this side, it's another image of Luke just waving his lightsaber towards the destroyed Dark Trooper. So it also looks very fascinating, and I feel like it's also one of very cool ways to pose them. And I'll also try out these poses later in my video. And so, okay, that's all for this. This part of the box, like the outer part. Yeah, it looks pretty common, and I don't think there's anything special about that. So now I'm gonna show you the inner part of the box, since it has a lot of layers. So as you guys see here, this is the inner layer of the box, and it's also just truly stunning, especially with the black and white picture on the front. And as you see here, it's actually pretty new. I never seen Hot Toys like made their box art like this. It's in a pretty new way, and it's also an image of Luke force crushing the Dark Trooper. And it's as I said, it's a new style, and I really enjoy these kind of styles as well. Like, I think, like, till now, this is my favorite. This is my favorite box art from Hot Toys yet. And as you see, it's just very cool. It's like it also added a lot of effects. They just perhaps they just posed him in this way, and posed Luke and the Dark Trooper in this way, and just snapped a picture, and later they added some effects of these sparks and other stuff flying everywhere. So it's actually a little bit messy, but I still think this is like one of the best box art Hot Toys ever made. It's just very, very fascinating. When you look at it, you just feel like I think it's also great if you put this box like I think collecting these boxes are also a great, like, I think these boxes also make up as a excellent collection. And as you see, also in the background, there's also some stuff there in the hallway, I guess, and down there's a Star Wars logo and Luke Skywalker Deluxe DX23. Okay, so this is about the image here, and on the side, of course, Star Wars logo again, and the product's name, and the back, still a bunch of warnings, identical to the one on the outer part. And on this side, Luke Skywalker, you see part of the Dark Trooper's head. And yeah, this is also an truly, as I said, a truly stunning image. And now I'm going to show you the part, even like the other layer, even inside this one. So it truly has a lot of layers inside. So as you guys see, this one, since it's just covered on the front, this is actually just a piece of cardboard. Since if you take this one out, you can see the figure directly. But now I have to show you the image. As you see here, it's still Luke swinging his lightsaber towards the Dark Trooper, just identical to the one on the outside part of the box. And you see Luke Skywalker. There's a bunch of words down there saying Luke Skywalker was a Tatooine farm boy who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the greatest Jedi the galaxy has ever known. Along with his friends, Princess Leia and Han Solo, Luke battled the evil Empire, discovered the truth of his parentage, and ended the tyranny of the Sith. Okay, so it's just an introduction about Luke Skywalker. It summarizes Luke's experiences in life, and pretty interesting. And down there, it's Star Wars logo, of course, and you see on the side also Star Wars logo again. Not really anything interesting. On the back, there's just nothing. Yeah, there's truly nothing. It's just dark. And on this side, it's also dark. Not really anything going on. Okay, so as I said, this is just the front part of it. So it's just a large piece of cardboard with some paddings inside in order to protect the figures, so it wouldn't just harm them, and it wouldn't damage their perhaps Luke's head sculpt or something. So if I take this out, you can directly see the figure. So I'll just wait. I'll just wait it to spin another round, and I'll just take this away. Okay, since I take this away, there's another foam pad. As you see inside, you can inside this you can see the figure directly, and also the Dark Trooper on the side, including down there, of course, little Grogu. And I think Hodgers really protect these kind of things. As you can see here, you just used a ton of ways to protect your figures in order not to be damaged during delivery. And as you see here, they put a lot of paddings and a bunch of stuff. And we take this one away. You see, these are the figures. This is the figure. This is the Dark Trooper. This Grogu, and there's another protective stuff here. Okay, it's actually pretty thick. So it's like, Grogu is really, just deep inside, you can see here. And these are the names of them. Battle damaged Dark Trooper upper body. This one is, Grogu. And, okay, head sculpt features, articulated head and arms. Okay. And this one is, like, newly developed Luke Skywalker head sculpt. With features separate rolling eyeballs. Yes. This is actually also very fascinating. You can roll his eyeballs. It's just fascinating. It's just great to hear about. And so now I'm just gonna, before I show you like all of these three, I said perhaps three figures I could call it. I'll first show you all of his accessories. So as you guys see here, these are almost everything that came with Luke. I said almost because I didn't include his Jedi robe, as you guys see right here, this one. And I also didn't include his gigantic background one, this one. It's just totally huge, and it also looks truly fascinating when you put it up behind him, especially when you let Luke like do the do the pose of force crushing the Dark Trooper. This looks truly fascinating, and I love that pose really very much. And I mean, I love that effect. But it just, the only problem is that it takes up too much space, and for a lot of people like me, we don't have enough space to really display these kind of things, especially with that gigantic background board. So I think usually I'll just put it in the box. I wouldn't take it out, but sometimes when you wanted to display them like that, it's just truly stunning. And also, besides this, of course, the instruction manual, which I'll show you later. So let's now just look at these accessories here, because I didn't put them here because they just take up too much space, and my camera is not really capable of showing you so many accessories at the same time. This also shows how much, like, Hot Toys really gave us a lot of accessories in this set, and I think it's pretty good. So I'll show you here. I'll show you the lightsaber first. As you see, even though this is a very small accessory, but Hot Toys just really nailed the details. You see the ring here, and use this to hang on Luke's belt. It's even articulated, as you see. You can move it around, and it's true metal. It's real metal, and it's great. Okay, so this is only a lightsaber holder. It cannot be turned on. Like this one, I already put batteries inside this, so you can turn it on. Actually, I'll show you later. And so for this is only the hilt. You can most of the time you'll just use it to hang it on Luke's belt, and you can also let him hold it with his regular arm. He has one regular arm and another is robotic arm, because one of his hands were cut off by Darth Vader in the movie, as we all know. So yeah, this looks really stunning, and with the lightsaber turn on, just looks truly fascinating. You can switch it around, and this is the other accessory which you can change, which you can change it onto this lightsaber hilt. As you can see, it's just like, it's the effect of swishing a lightsaber, and looks truly fascinating. It's a bit heavy though, but still the effect is just really amazing. And now I'm going to show you the hands. You see here, first of all, these are just open palm, and it only included one. I didn't include it in the robotic hands. Actually, there are like one extra pair. I didn't put it here because it's still attached on Luke's body, so I didn't really show you here, right here, but of course I'll show you later. So this is the open palm. It only included one. It's not included in the robotic hand, but I think this one is maybe a force gesturing hand. I'm not sure. And this one is like just still handed open palm or something. Okay. And these are just still open palms. And right here, it's just perhaps he bent his fingers a little bit. I'm not sure what this means. Probably use this to hold his belt, just like what his father did. Yeah, very interesting. It's also it's a very iconic pose for Darth Vader, but I'm not sure if it's iconic for him. Okay, so this, yeah, these are obviously lightsaber holding hands, and you can let him hold his, like, use this to hold the lightsaber hilt. But for this one, as you see, there's another lightsaber, but this one is attached onto his hand because there's batteries connected here, and of course it will use, and when you turn this on, you see here, it's pretty bright actually, and there will be, it would glow, and it would look truly fascinating. And these are also lightsaber holding hands. There's also, I don't know what this means, probably use this to hold a gun or something, hold a blaster. And for this one, I'm not really sure, but just look at the details. It just looks almost identical to a real hand. Just really stunning. Hot Toys already nailed the details. And this is the display base, as you see here, this metal named Luke Skywalker. Oh, this accidentally fell off. I think it's not a problem. Simply have to attach it back on, and it'll be fine. Okay, so I think these two, the ground, they look similar. This one is used to hold the Dark Trooper. I'll show you the details in a specific way later in the video. Okay, so please wait a second. This fell off again. I think this is pretty loose, but if you just display it right there, it wouldn't fall off by itself. In these two, I think these are the connectors, probably. He gave some extra ones in case you broke it. And this, I think, is most probably it's most probably a ring or something on Luke's belt. But I'm not sure why they gave this. Perhaps in case you lost it, you can have an extra one. Hot Toys just, yeah, they really put their heart into this figure. Okay, here. Now I'm gonna show you. Oh yes, this one. Before I show you Grogu, I should first show you this. This is not really an accessory. It's just a kind of, it's an equipment you use to move Luke's eye. But I heard that you only have to use it the first time, and later you'll simply have to use your hands because it's a bit tight on the first time. But once you use it to move his eyes once, later it will turn a bit looser, and it will be easier for, like, I think it's more convenient to use your hands instead of using this. Okay, so now it's time for Grogu. This is included in nearly all of the Mandalorian, all of the Hot Toys figures in the Mandalorian season. As you see here, it's the first. I'm not sure if perhaps in the Ahsoka series, I'm not sure. Like there's, he can actually move his hands, because I heard before a lot of Grogu their hands couldn't really articulate. But this one, it has this ability, and yeah, it's a great thing to hear. It's definitely amazing. And his head, you know, he can move around. It's great articulation. But I'll show you the specific articulation later in the video. But still, this is truly stunning. And his legs are not articulated, but still, I mean his feet. Yeah, usually when you put him here, you cannot see his feet at all. Like standing here, you cannot see his feet at all. But for example, better show you like this. You cannot see his feet at all. But Hot Toys still made this detail. So this also shows that they really put their heart into making these Star Wars figures. Okay, so for these, Hot Toys even included the exchangeable hands for Grogu. I think this is a Force gesturing hand, perhaps. Yeah. And next, I'll show you this. This is the most fascinating accessory in the of all that I've showed you. This is only included in the deluxe version, and as you can see, it's the bust of the Dark Trooper. You can actually take this off. I'll just attach it back on for a while. You see here, the details are really just, when you put him here, he just looks really realistic, and it just feels as if he's being just being crushed by the Force. And yeah, you can see here, you can see the metal down there. You can see the texture. It just looks really fast. Some people say that it's a bit soft. Yes, perhaps a little bit, but still, I think at least it's much better than the Battle Damage Mark 85, right? That one's a bit too soft, but this one, I'm definitely okay with that. I think I think it actually looks pretty sharp in some parts, like this one. I think, yeah, they look, and you just feel like that has just been force crushed by someone, and as you can see on his head is also being destroyed. There's a piece taken off, fell off, and his arms are actually articulated as well. You can, I'll show you the specific articulation later in the video, and you can also, if you just you take this away, is it this part? Yes, and this piece, is there a piece down there? Yes, this one. You can actually attach it onto, like, another figure, like the previous, Dark Trooper, which is another set that Hot Toys made. It's the, for this one, it's the battle damaged or force, or just, this is the battle damaged bust of the Dark Trooper. There's another complete version which is new, entirely new. It's also another set. You can actually exchange this onto its body. It's pretty interesting, but I think Hot Toys just wanted to use this way to convince us to buy the other set. But yeah, I actually feel like it's a bit weird to have like such a force, like completely destroyed top part of the body attached on an entirely new legs. I just feel like it's a bit weird, so I'm just gonna pose them in this way instead of letting him have these new legs. And for this is the special edition. This is only included in the special edition. It's actually, and you see here, this is supposed to be Moff Gideon's light cruiser, which is being projected by this little projector or something. I'm not sure, but just as you see, even though it's a small accessory, its details are really just, it looks very realistic. Okay, so that's all for the accessories. I guess more details of these, and you see here, even though it's just one solid piece and it's hard material, it looks as if it's like, it looks like fat or something like that, or some soft material. It's just actually one solid piece. And this one is also, like, it's a large piece of hunk of plastic or something, and it's also really cool. It's actually pretty heavy. It weighs at least a few hundred grams. It's still much lighter than these die-cast Iron Mans, but still, I think it's great. And now I think it is time for the Luke Skywalker. Alright, so as you guys see here, this is Luke Skywalker right out of the box. Let's take this off. As you can see here, first impression of the head sculpt is just truly stunning, and it's just totally spectacular. You can see here, even though it's a CGI, and it's only a CGI Luke in the show, but it's still, like, you can really see how much Hot Toys improved during the years in these, like, their development, their techniques of making these kind of head sculpts. You see here his face just looks, the texture, everything, even these kind of freckles on the face, everything, the hair, just looks like extremely realistic. When you put him here, to someone who doesn't know these kind of action figures, they will just feel like it's a real person standing right here. They think it came right out of the movie. And you see here, when you take this off, this is actually being taped right here. Take this off, take this out, and it's fine. Okay, please wait a second, have to zoom in. And also here you can take his top part of his head or his hair. You can see here, this is how you move his eyes. You simply snap this in, and then you can move his eyes. But I'm not gonna do it now. I'm afraid if I just turn the direction of the eye, I cannot change it back. It will look in a very weird way. So you can see here he also has a very good articulation. Look at to play with, and his outfit just looks like the texture of the outfit also feels pretty good. It feels pretty soft. When it's like made up of different kind of material, even though they just look the same, but they're actually like made up of various types of materials. And as you can see, it's a lot. And I think the outfit is a bit similar to the Return of the Jedi version, but still different in a lot of ways. But I just feel like they look a little bit identical. But so once I have this, I don't think I'm gonna have the Return of the Jedi one anymore, because I think having this one is already enough. This is like one of the best Luke ever being made by Hot Toys. Okay, so as you see here, this is some details on the back. This is his belt. Yeah, so this is what I showed you. The material, like these are the exchange ones, and I think it's just for these materials. And also, I can show you, like how I think they use this little hook right here, this little ring. They use this little, you can use the ring, use this hook to hold the lightsaber. Yeah, you can put this ring here. I know it's a little bit loose, it might fall off, but be patient. Try a little bit, and try a few more times, and it'll be good. You see that the ring is right here. You will simply have to slide it on. Just wait a second. The gesture. It's actually, it's not really as convenient as I thought it would. Like the ring is a little bit, as you can see, it's just moving everywhere. It's not really. Do I have to? Okay, I have to just. Okay, you have to spin it around. Now, okay, I'll just try this later in the video. So as you see here, this great details, and now I'm going to show you a few great poses. Of course, I'm also going to include the pose of his using this hook to hold his lightsaber. So as you can see here, this is Luke simply standing here without doing any fancy poses, and he already looks truly stunning with even just he stands here, you will feel like he's a real person just coming right out of the movie. I think it's most probably because of his likeness of the head sculpt, even though it's CGI, but still really realistic. This doesn't really have an impact at all. And as you can see, the outfit is also, like, with the material, they also look really realistic, and they don't really look, it doesn't really look that weird and chunky or something like that. And also, you can see here, there's a lot of layers actually, and also the texture of the boots, they're also pretty good. They're shiny, even though I think they're pleather, right? But still, I think it isn't a problem at all. And also even though it's like just some pleather boots, but still, his feet has a really good articulation, and I think his articulation is actually one of the best in my entire collection, compared to these some of the Marvel figures. Okay, so that's so now I'm going to show you some other kind of like cooler poses. So as you can see here, this is another very simple but excellent pose. As you can see here, he's simply standing here and with his lightsaber on his belt, hanging there, and also Grogu down there looking on top at something, and Luke isn't even wearing his robe, but he's still, when he stands here, especially with his lightsaber on his belt, he looks totally awesome. And you just feel like it's a Jedi walking towards you. And yeah, I love this pose a lot as well. So as you can see here, this is Luke wearing his like dark robe, like his Jedi robe. And this robe is like gigantic compared to the to Luke himself. Like this can be used to cover his entire body. And I think this is also I think this is also in the movie, right? This also, I think he also did this in the movie. He used his robe to cover his entire body, and it also looks pretty good. Like especially when he uses the robe, the top part of the robe to cover most of his eyes, and he just looks really, a little bit creepy, but still like really cool. It's a really cool pose to do with him. And now I'm going to show you some other kind of poses. This is also a very amazing pose. As you can see here, Luke is force crushing the Dark Trooper. He's not even using his lightsaber to cut through him. And also, as you can see, I turn on the lights here and see the lights just shine up there. The light effect just looks very fascinating, especially when put in period. It looks really realistic, and you feel as if it came right out of the film, or it's just a scene from the film. It just looks like he's being just force crushed, and you can see here it's just he's using his crushing hand, that kind of pose, and he's also wearing his robe. And I think this is also a very fascinating pose, and I might use this as my pose in the display. And okay, now I'm going to show you some more. Alright, so this is another fascinating pose of Luke holding the special edition accessories, or Moff Gideon's, like the projecting image of Moff Gideon's light cruiser. And it looks truly fascinating, especially when you let him wear his robe and let him just turn his head towards this. It's as if he's looking at it, and also while holding his lightsaber. It looks truly fascinating, and I love this pose as well. So as you can see here, I managed to put up the background, and I also turn on the light effect of the Dark Trooper. As you can see, it's truly fascinating to see Luke wearing his robe and seeing just arrived at the hallway and just force crushing and just totally destroying this Dark Trooper. While I don't think in the show Grogu was standing down there while Luke did this, and there was no special edition accessory like the projector there, but I just think it's cool to put it right there, so I just did it. But just look at Luke doing, like, it just I think this is the coolest pose until now. And now I feel like this background is totally necessary, even though it takes up a lot of space. But if you really put it there, you will really feel like this is truly like when you take a snapshot of it, it's truly a movie. Like you would definitely feel like it's from a movie scene, or it just came right out from the show. And you can see here the details of the Dark Trooper and also Luke doing that. I actually thought about it for a while when I was deciding which hand to use to show Luke force crushing this Dark Trooper. Later, at last, I chose this one because like when I look through the other hands to see these, they don't really look like, especially this one. I actually thought of using this at first, but I think I just feel like it looks a bit weird, and I feel like this is supposed to be used to hold a gun or something. I'm not sure, so at last, I chose this, and I think this is the best choice. And so as you can see here, this is another adorable pose of Luke holding a little Grogu, and little Grogu still looks very cute right there. You can see he's Grogu looks like as if it wants to reach for something. It's just holding his arms. And also Luke no longer uses the robe to cover his eyes, so he no longer looks that scary, or but he's still igniting his lightsaber, and perhaps ready for attack or something. Still defensive, but he's still wearing his robe, so it still looks very cool. And I think also this is also a scene from the movie, right? I'm not very sure, but yeah, still it's a very great pose. And I think with so many accessories, you can really make a ton of poses with this figure. And I'm not going to show all of you since I've already showed quite a few poses to you right now, so I think that's all for the poses. Now, I'm going to show you his articulation. So, as you can see here, this is Luke Skywalker right here in the light box, without any accessories with him, because now I'm going to show you his articulation. First of all, his head can move freely around here in 60 degrees without any problem. And also, you can take his head, you can actually move his eyes, but I'll not show it to you anymore because I don't think it's really convenient. And now for his arms, you can see he can move up like this, a little bit more than 90, and it can go front like this, still 90, and back like this, a little bit, approximately 30, and it can like stretch. It can stretch out, sort of like. Just hold on. I think there's some issues here. Okay, now it's better. It can now looks perfectly to a spot towards his body, and you can move up like this, 90, out, and here it can bend. It can bend just 180 degrees and go back for his hands. You can move around 160. But for this one, you can actually just change the direction of his hands. But for this one, since his glove, because this one is his robotic hand, so because his this hand was chopped off. His original hand was chopped off by Darth Vader, so robotic hand, it's a bit lengthier than the other one. So this restricts his articulation and made his hand not articulatable at all. But this one is still better. But I think Hato is actually, because this is more accurate in the movie, it is a bit longer, so Hato sacrificed the articulation to get a better, to make the figure look more accurate. I think this is definitely worth it, and I think they really did a good job. And for his body, for his torso, you can actually move front like this, back like this, and spin around a little bit. And for his legs, move up like this. These materials don't have an impact on his articulation at all. So I think it's pretty good. And it can stretch back, almost done, perhaps a little bit. And it can stretch out like this, and lower leg, for his lower part of his leg, and stretch out like this. And as I said, for his boots, even though this is like pleather boot, but still has the awesome articulation. You can see here it can bend almost any direction you want, and it can do a lot of like amazing poses. But please, like, I recommend you not to do this for so many times. You might this pleather, after a long time, it might be damaged. So please consider be careful of that. Okay, now for the big hunk of plastic or something, this dark trooper, and like there are two parts that can be articulated. First part is his head. Obviously can move around sort of like this, a little bit up and down. And for his arm, you can move out like in and out like this, and front and back like this. Yeah, that's actually better than I expected. And for this one, it's totally this is just connected. It's not articulated at all. And okay, so that's all for the Dark Trooper. Not really a lot to say, but still, look at its details. Truly stunning. And for Grogu, I think you already know the only parts that are articulated are his head. He can move around freely, and it's just really satisfying to just do this. And for his arms, it can also move around 360. It can move around 360. It's actually much better than I expected. I thought it can only move around like perhaps 180 or something, but I didn't expect that it would move around freely to any directions. Okay, so I think that's probably all. This is the special edition accessory. Let's see if we can switch his hands. So switch his arms, or probably, yeah, I think this is his arms. Okay, simply. I haven't tried this yet, so it's a little bit tight. I'm not sure if I would succeed this time. Okay, so his hand is actually pretty sharp, by the fact that it's okay. I don't think I can stretch it out. Okay, so apologies, but I don't think I'm able to show it to you right now. Like, it's just way too. Okay, I successfully pulled it out. Right. I'm gonna try to attempt to put the new one in. Let's see if it would work. Still, you have to push it all the way in, just like we did. We pulled the other one all the way out. Now we have to push this all the way in. Okay, it's actually pretty tight, much tighter than I anticipated. Oh god. Now we push it. Okay, I don't think I really pushed it to the bottom part, but just see, this is, look at it, this is the effect. Still pretty good, but I'd still prefer the original hand, because I think it looks like more natural, perhaps, and I think this is a forced thing here or something. Perhaps he used to defeat the rhino, or the creature you call it in the Mandalorian season 1. I'm not sure what this is used for. Perhaps later Luke was teaching him how to use the Force, so he's just doing this supposed to to use the Force, probably. I'm not very sure. But once you take this off, it's really hard to move it back in. Since this piece, though it's small, it's actually really tight. And I think this is the only time I'm going to exchange his hands. Later on, I'll just use this as his hands forever. And I'm not going to switch it for so many times. Perhaps sometimes when I wanted to do another specific pose or something, I'll probably change it, but most of the time, I rather prefer this. It's like being like, actually his paws were really, his fingernails are pretty sharp, and it actually just it hurts a little bit when you're pulling this back, especially when this one, it's actually, his fingernails are pretty sharp. I think Hot Toys also noticed too. Perhaps in the show his fingernails were pretty sharp, so when they made it to 1/6 scale, they still made it the same way. Alright, so I think that's all. And besides, this is not in the movie, don't take it seriously. I found a very funny way to pose this. That is to put the Jedi robe of Luke onto the Dark Trooper. I think nobody have ever done that, or I don't know, at least what I know. Like the people that I know, among the people that I know, nobody has ever done this before. They put this, let's try to put this Jedi robe onto the Dark Trooper. Let's see the effect. I already tried onto it once, and it actually turned out to be pretty good, even though it looks weird. As you can see here, it's pretty dark, weird. Take this off, he'll look weirder. So I'd better just put it back on. And as you can see, he actually looks not that bad. Okay, it's just pretty funny. It's nothing. Please don't take it seriously. Definitely not in the show. I just slowly discovered that while posing Luke Skywalker. And this is the instruction manual. As you can see here, it's a lot of pages. It's for DX23 or DX23. DX23 is the deluxe version. And here are the pages. Show it to you. Okay, it's just a few pages and a warning back here. In all, I feel like this character is spectacular. Like, it is nearly perfect in any aspect. No matter, like, its likeness of the head sculpt, or, like, its articulation, or the details, like, the details of the Dark Trooper, and also of Grogu, and also, like, Luke himself, like all the details, and they're just totally just nearly perfect. And just when he stands there, when you look at him, you just feel like he's a real person. Like, to the people who didn't know anything about action figures or something, when they look at it, they will just feel like this is a picture out of the movie, and or the show. And before I received this, I already had a very high expectation of it, because I also watched some other videos about people talking about this figure. They say that it's just awesome, like it's great in many ways. Yes, it does have a few very little issues, but I don't think they're a problem at all. It can be solved very easily, and it's just definite. And also, but I'm still after having a very high expectation of it, this product, like how it turned out, it's still it's actually it turned out to be much better, even better than my anticipation. So I really enjoy this figure, and I think it's one of the best figures that I've ever have from this brand. And I think it's most probably because Hot Toys, I also heard other people say that Hot Toys puts more heart into making these Star Wars figure rather than Marvel. So I think it's most probably the reason why. Before, in Marvel figures, although they're also like just they're all of them are awesome, but I think Hot Toys just maybe they just puts more heart, or just he spends more time and effort into making these Star Wars figures. Yeah, I also feel pretty pretty happy that I'm a Star Wars fan, because I actually started watching Star Wars a long time before I watched Marvel, so I think I'm a bigger fan of Star Wars, in fact. So okay, that's all for this for the figure, and if you enjoyed watching this, please consider like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon in my next video.